Hi everyone, in this video we're diving into an exciting piece of VR gear. It's quite unique and promises to take your FPS gaming to the next level. This is the Enforcer Haptic rifle stock. Now you can get the rifle stock with this pistol accessory that gives you force feedback, or you can purchase the Enforcer Haptic pistol separately without the stock. This tantalizing piece of kit offers immersive recoil feedback for both rifle and pistol modes. Gives you a real world feel as you fire your virtual weapons. The stock works with Quest 2, Quest 3, Quest 3S and the Quest Pro. Now I'll be putting it together, I'll be putting it through its paces and giving it a quick test and giving my impressions on this piece of gear. If this review helps you and you do want to get an Enforcer, then I've got affiliate links in the description below. I really appreciate you use those links to purchase the stock because it helps the channel out at no extra cost from you, so thank you for doing that. First thing to let you know is that the Enforcer comes in parts. I'm not going to show you exactly how to put it together because there's other videos out there that do a great job at doing that already, so if you're after a guide on putting it together, I'll link those in the description below. But what I will say is that the build quality of this accessory is really quite high from what I experienced. It's mostly made of carbon tubing, 3D printed plastic, but there are also some metal brackets in there, some plastic injection molded wing nuts, a material strap and so on, but mostly 3D printed plastic parts in carbon tubing. And like I say, I found the quality quite solid and putting it together was fairly easy. And I only really had one small issue putting it together, and it was so small I wondered if it was worth mentioning or not, but I thought I'd better mention it just for full disclosure. And that was one of the Allen keys didn't fit properly in one of the grub screws. I think the head on the grub screw might have been a bit stripped, so I had to use one of my own Allen keys to find the right size and tighten it. So again, it wasn't a massive issue, but I wanted just to be completely open here. Other than that, putting it together was no problems. There were two big glossy visual guides and that made it really quite easy. And I'll get into the different features a bit later on, but first I'll just mention that the Enforcer Haptic pistol, that part that you can buy separately, that's powered by a lithium ion battery. Hook it up to a charger, you get the charger with the Enforcer. Once it's charged, connect it back up, put the battery back in the handle, slide the handle back up and lock it in position again. And that's what powers the Enforcer's haptic feedback electronics. And now I'll go into the other features of the Enforcer stock. So now I'll go over the features of the Enforcer, but before I do, I just want to say this feels really nice. You've got lots of adjustments that I'll go over very shortly that help you to make it fit nice and comfortably. It feels pretty hefty, pretty weighty. I'm not sure if it's a similar weight as an actual gun, but it does feel, there is some weight behind it, which obviously makes it feel more realistic, like you're actually holding a weapon. So starting from the front, we have this wing nut here that you can loosen to adjust this front cup that holds the front controller, so you can twist it backward, forward, depending on your preference. And then, if I tighten that back up, we go down the carbon tube, and you can also release this latch here. And when you release the latch, you can adjust it backwards or forwards, depending on how long you want that. Then we go further down, we have another latch. Again, unhook that, and you can adjust that back part of the stock. And we go to the this rest here, again another wing nut. I undo that and I can adjust it up and down depending on what works best for me, and that obviously that's the part that's going to rest on your shoulder. These cups that hold the controllers, they're held in by magnets, so they're quite strong in terms of the connection. I don't think you're going to accidentally pull them out unless you really want to pull them out, because they are quite strong magnets. So the chances of them coming off accidentally, I would say, are fairly slim. And the same with this one here, except this one has an additional feature, this latch. So in order to take this out, it has a magnet, but I also have to unhook the latch like this, and then I can pull it off. So that means that this isn't going to come off accidentally at all, because you need to release the latch, and you've also got that magnet in place, so that's going to stay put. That's not going to go anywhere, which is great because you wouldn't want this kind of falling off and breaking potentially. Now some more features. As you can see, we've got this this grip here, keeps your hand in place, and this wrist strap, so I can just hook this around and it buttons up here like that. I'm not going to do it because I want my hand free, but you get the idea. You've also, to keep your controllers in place, you have this hammer, which is quite cool because it's like the hammer of the gun, but also serves a useful purpose, locking your controller in place. Now these plastic bits here, they're like squishy adhesive bits I've added myself, so you don't actually get that in the kit. I've added this because it's touching my controller, and when you've got the haptic feedback, it might rub on the face of the controller. I say might because I don't know for certain. So just in case, I've added these squishy protective pads so it doesn't rub on the face of my controller, just in case. Now let's go on to the Enforcer. This is the most exciting part. So you'll see that the Enforcer gun actually has a plastic trigger here that makes contact with the Quest controller trigger. So when I'm clicking this trigger, which has a nice little clicky feel to it, you'll probably be able to hear that. Well, that's actually pressing the Quest controller trigger at the same time, which is quite nice. Now we have the on and off switch here, so I'll turn it on, and you'll see it has 3 different modes: single fire mode, burst fire mode, and rapid fire mode. So if I want single fire mode, I simply click that button. You see the LED turns blue, and burst fire, and then rapid fire. Now these buttons also serve a dual function. So the blue button is for fire delay. So if I hold this down, I can increase or decrease the fire delay depending on how I twist this dial. So if I want it really delayed, I'm going to turn it full, and then I'm going to put rapid fire mode. So there's quite a bit of delay there from when I'm pressing the trigger to when I'm feeling the haptic feedback. Now if I decrease the delay down to the minimum, it's pretty much instant. You can feel that difference. So that's delay. Then you've also got recoil strength. So turn it up to max. We've got max recoil there. Turn it to minimum. You can feel the difference. Certainly not as powerful when compared to that. Not sure if you can see and hear the difference, but I can certainly feel it in my hands. Now, finally, this red button determines, if I hold it down, the fire rate. So if I put it on maximum, I won't put it maximum because if you put it maximum, it gets go too far. So I'll put it almost to maximum. Look how quick that goes. Now if I go down to minimum, a lot slower. And this applies to all the 3 different modes. So again, this is the slow burst fire mode. If I increase fire rate, but you don't want to, don't increase it to maximum. My advice, I'd increase it just below maximum. Look how quick that is. So quick voiceover, I did speak to the developers of the Enforcer, and they said the auto fire speed at maximum was designed to actually fire that fast. So if you had it on maximum, the slide wouldn't fully actuate, so you could shoot faster than the solenoid would allow, and they thought it might work good for some guns like fast firing automatic pistols, but they did tell me in practice it doesn't work as well as they thought it might, so looking at changing the code soon to adjust that feature. So this is fantastic because you not only have control over the rapid fire, burst fire or single fire modes, but you also have control over how delayed the shot is, the recoil intensity, and how rapid the fire is. So you can really tailor it to match the weapon in game. So now let's head into our gameplay test. We're going to play Dead Second. I just want to say first off the bat that it really feels like a proper piece of equipment. It's like I feel like I'm heading into battle. Now I'm just going to adjust some of these lengths here because this front part feels a bit too close to the back part. So adjust that and maybe adjust this a bit forward as well. Yeah, that feels good. So as you can see, I've got this strap here that's holding the stock to my shoulder. I have actually connected it incorrectly because I find it better this way. So you are meant to connect one end to the front, but I've connected it both to the back just because I prefer it that way. So first thing I want to do is remove this front part because I'm handling a pistol, right? So not a rifle or machine gun. And then I undo the latch and then pull this part off. And now I'm ready to go. And obviously the stock is on my shoulder, ready to reattach when I need it. So let's jump into one of the assignments. Let's give those a go. Level 3, pumping station. Why not? Start on easy difficulty. And let's give this a try. I'll switch on the haptics. The switch on the side. Hold on. Single fire mode. There we go. I had it on burst fire just there. Oh, this feels good. This feels good. So I'll just describe what this is like. The first element that makes this so immersive, I get behind cover here, is that it's a bit hefty. You know, you can feel some weight to it. So it feels like I'm actually holding something substantial. It feels like I'm holding a pistol. I'm not sure if it's the exact weight of a pistol of this type, but I'd imagine it'd be fairly close. And then obviously there's the recoil, and that just makes it for this pistol type. I've got the recoil set to max. Now what I might do is I'll just hold this down and give it a bit more delay. I think I'm about halfway on the dial there with delay, because let's give that a try. Yes, that feels a lot more accurate. That little bit of delay there with this particular pistol works well. Oh, this feels so good. It's kind of hard to describe through the camera. I wish you could feel it for yourself. But yeah, this feels proper. I find the haptics to be really reliable as well. You know, every time I'm pressing that trigger, it's doing what it needs to do. Now, one thing I noticed, which could be a drawback, is that even though my clip is empty, I'm still getting haptic feedback. But I guess there's no way to solve that unless you have some kind of Bluetooth connection, some kind of software that reads the game and how much ammo you'll have left in your clip. I'm not sure there's any way to combat that. And if you do have Bluetooth and obviously software, number one, that's going to add extra complications. Plus, it's also going to add extra cost to the thing. So, do you know what? I'd much prefer it to keep it simpler like this. And it's really, for me, it's not a deal breaker. The fact that once we go to 0, you still get haptics. It doesn't really affect things for me. Not a problem at all. And I'd rather keep it, like I said, simpler and cheaper by not having Bluetooth and software involved and that kind of thing. And obviously Bluetooth as well will drain the battery faster too, I'd imagine as well. So that's another case for keeping it simple like this. Oh, we've got a drone now. Oh, this feels so good. I mean, look, we've still got to try some of the other weapons, but so far, this pistol feels fantastic. Wow. I can't get over how cool this is and how realistic it feels. Okay, I'm in 0 caliber reloaded. I want to try this out first with a shotgun, just to see if it works just as well with a shotgun as it does with like an automatic weapon, a pistol. So I'll try a pump action, right? Grab that. Let's load it first. So I'll pop these rounds, or these shells, should I say, just in the bottom there. So let's get it fully loaded. Right, that's enough. So what I'll do is I'll make sure it's on single shot haptic, right? Pop this into the magnetic slot like that. Hold there. Boom. If I want to reload, and then pop it on the front. Bang. Bang. No problem. Yeah, works well. Works well. Yeah, no problem with a shotgun. Works fine with that too. Now what I want to try is like switching between weapons. So I get like, let's just get a standard KA-47. It should be AK-47. Probably some copyright issue there. Pop it on my front, right? And then we'll grab, well, let's pop this off. Do I have a sidearm? I'm going to grab a, let's grab like a, yeah, like a Dirty Harry style Magnum or something. Here we go. Nice one. Let's put that in there. And so first things first, let's reload it if it isn't reloaded already. Oops. There we go. Ready to go. So I imagine I'm in a combat situation and I've got these guys in front of me. I want to switch between my AK-47, then do the, obviously, sidearm, my Magnum. So this is how it's going to go. So switch to my automatic weapon, put it in the mount, put it in the front mount, grab. Make sure it's on automatic haptic feedback like that. I'm out of ammo. Let's reload. Pop that in there. Put it back. Go with that. Nice. Right, now I want to go to my pistol, right? So I go like that. Grab the pistol and single shot if you can, if you have time. Bang. Nice. Works well. So now let's try it on the actual game. Let's give it a go in an actual combat situation. Okay, I've got the haptic mode set to automatic fire. And I have to defend Bob apparently. Oh, I've only got a pistol, so I'm going to set my thing to single fire haptics. Pull this off, right? Here we go. And I'm good for my pistol. What do we have here? Do we have any automatic weapons? No. Crowbars and axes and shields. Nothing there. Oh, we have a turret gun. I wonder how this works. So let's go to automatic fire. Right, looks like I have to reload that first. Yep. Yes, that feels good as well. So I can confirm it also feels good with turrets and things like that. Oh, here we go. We've got some bad guys coming in, and Bob is under attack. I don't know why I'm ducking right now. Dead. Right. Grab an automatic weapon. Okay, let's go. Nice. Right, I'm out. So let's switch between that and my sidearm. There we go. Reload, I think. Bob, out the way. And I'll wrap it up there, but just to give you my final thoughts on this stock and haptic feedback gun, I absolutely love it. I think it adds another layer of immersion to your FPS games. The haptics, the weight, and the stock all work together to make it feel like you're holding a real weapon, and not only that, the stock helps to also improve your aim by allowing you to steady your weapon on your shoulder. You do have to practice with this stock in order to get good at removing and reattaching the controllers when you're switching from something like a machine gun to a pistol, so you do need to develop that muscle memory, but that's something you get with a little bit of practice. Another standout feature for me is the recoil, which not only feels great, but I love the customizability of it to quickly switch between rapid fire, short burst and single fire modes, and adjust the delay, force feedback and speed of each. Gives you so much choice to get the haptics just how you want them. I've got to say, it's one of my favourite gun stocks that I've used, and it gets a thumbs up from me. Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks for watching the video as always, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.